Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how I got started. I don't know if this is the right way, so yeah. So I want this project to be called Lab 2 Demo. And let's create a class called, what do we want to call this? Gomoku. And in order to get this working, we need to, oh shoot, oh, here it is, okay. We need to put our lab2 jar in that source folder. So I'm going to copy it and paste it right there next to Gomoku.java. Go back to Eclipse, right click, refresh, right click on lab2 jar and add to build path. Next we just need to implement the Komoku Model. Oops. Alright, then hover over this, add unimplemented methods. Alright, so first thing, she gave us a hint as to what we should have in our class. So, the first thing, we need in order to have a build string is some way of holding all the moves. So she recommended a 2D array, so let's just go ahead and make a 2D array. And we want this of type square. And let's just call this moves. And she also said something about a string builder, so oops. Yeah, so we'll have that, and we'll call this SB. And well, first thing we need to do is we need to have this initialized. So let's create a constructor. So the constructor will be Gomoku, of course. Alright, and well, first thing we need to do is make sure that, well, we'll just create a method to do it for us. Alright, and then we'll create one. And so first we need to actually make the moves array. And the way we're going to do that is, have a new square with first the vertical squares. So I believe it's Komoku Model dot vertical squares. There we go. And then the horizontal. Komoku horizontal. And then so now we have the moves array. And then what we need to do is we need to iterate through it. And so while this is the vertical side, so this is rows, so while it's number of vertical squares, and then another one to start iterating columns, so this would be number of horizontal squares, and we want to do moves at ij, and we're going to initialize as .empty. So now every element at this sort of position in the grid will have a new square.empty, will be set to square.empty. Alright, so now we have this array and it's completely filled up, and it gets called during the when the constructor is called, so we know it's going to be filled. Next thing we need to do is we need to create a board string. So let's just let's see, when do we want that created? Probably want that created, we could just do it right after we initialize the array. So create board string. Alright. Oops. Alright, so next thing, she said something about the string builder, so let's go ahead and use that. So I'm going to create a private, or it's not really private, but local to this little function variable. So string builder, and then what we want to do is we want to iterate through that array. So we could actually just copy this, paste it there, and then we want to say sort of like the opposite. So we want to get the element at that position, and we want to save it to the string. And so we say sb.append whatever's there. And so if we look at the, at this GUI class, it actually wants a char. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that because right now it's set to an enum of square, so we want the char value, so to char. So now we're appending to the string this position and its character value, because as of right now, if we were to just leave off char, what would actually be appended would be square, or cross, or ring, or empty. So make sure you call to char. Alright, and so for board string, all we need to do is we need to say board string. Sorry, I'm trying to think and work fast so that this video isn't super long. .toString. So there's that, and do click, we can just say Gomoku Model outcome, I guess. Game not over, just to make sure that it still plays, and let's run it. I forgot, we need a main. So next thing we need to do is create a main. So in order to call non-static methods, we have to get out of main. So do that, just call new Gomoku, or sorry, forgot we're in a GUI here. Gomoku GUI, and then new Gomoku. So what that does exactly is it's going to call new GUI, and GUI requires a Gomoku model in its constructor. So since this implements Gomoku model, Gomoku is a Gomoku model. So what it's going to do is it's actually going to go here, it's going to call this constructor, which is this one right here, and now we're officially out of main. So it allows us to call non-static methods or functions. So now it should work. Oh, and it doesn't. So now let's see what's wrong. Oh, I know what's wrong. I forgot to set initialize moves array, create board string. I forgot to set underscore SB. Oops. Forgot to set that. Because we were using the string builder there, and then it was just going no place because it'd be built, this string would be built, and then it would just go. Alright, so now, there we go. So on click is what you'd have to do next. New game works, quit works. So on click would be, obviously you'd have a if statement and make sure that that row and column is not filled. And so first thing we would do is do moves, and since first one is row, second one is column, would be to set what it is. So string, there we go. Alright, so after that's done, then all you have to do is just make sure you create the board string again, because so you updated the array, and at that position in the array you added this ring. So the next thing you need to do is, well, recreate the board string. So did that, and there you go. Let me okay, so now let's make sure this works with the command line. I think it's in documents, workspace. Oh. Alright, so to compile this, all you have to do is just do Java C for compile dash class path, and then this is where you just have your lab2 jar. Make sure you add this funny little thing, and then your class, so it's Gomoku Java. Alright, that compiles. Keep that there. Keep that there, and then delete this part right there, the C, and then should run. So runs without Eclipse as well, and now you're started and you have everything else. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.